So Arsenal did what we expected them to do today. If you expected anything different from this match today, then I think that you are not a real football fan and you are not honest with yourself, because we all expected Arsenal to come into this game and we expected Arsenal to just win the game and do what they just did today. So the game was fantastic. Arsenal dominated the entire 90 minutes of the game. I will give Coventry some credit because they are just coming from the lower division and they were only beaten 3-0. I think that's what they should be proud of. It's not something to be ashamed of. They had one defensive error that led to a goal. I feel like the defender must hate himself for that. But this is the Premier League. It's more challenging. It's not like where you are coming from. It's more difficult. I think Coventry is going to get better, and I hope that they are able to survive this season and not go back to relegation, because the Premier League is really tough. I would rather prefer that Tottenham should go to relegation than Coventry should go to relegation. But it was a good game. A very dominant game. Kai Havertz at the top of his game. He scored a goal. Odegaard scored a very fantastic goal, a very classic goal, and Bukayo Saka also scored a goal, which was a tap-in and a defensive error from the goalkeeper. Odegaard was given the man of the match, but a lot of people, including me, feel that Zolis is supposed to be given the man of the match. Arsenal was totally dominant in the entire part of the game. There was later some substitutions with some people that came in. I think Eze came in, Zubimendi came in. I think Odegaard went out. Another thing about the game was there was one part of the game where after a rough tackle, Gabriel Magalhaes was in pains and he had to go down to the sidelines to get some painkillers. But I hope that is nothing serious. Calafiori played a very nice game as well. It was a beautiful game. It was a very beautiful game from Arsenal. Ben White has really improved. He's no longer rusty. Remember when he just came from injury last season, he was rusty, but now he's much better. And I know some people are just going to say, oh, it's Coventry, don't get your hopes high. But then Arsenal played like people who are ready, a team that is ready to defend the title this season. They played with so much confidence. Miles Lewis-Kelly, as usual, was bossing the midfield. He was really, really good. He was fantastic. I see this Arsenal defending the Premier League because the biggest opposition and the biggest threat was Pep. Not even Man City, Pep. And ever since Pep left Man City, a lot of prominent players in Man City, like Bernardo Silva, Rodri, and some other players, they left Man City. So who is going to feed Haaland with the balls to score the goals? I'm not saying Haaland is going to struggle this season. Haaland is still going to score goals, but Man City is not going to be. I think that Man U is going to do way much better than Man City this season, and I think that Man City is going to go trophyless at the end of the season. I don't think they are going to win anything. It was a fantastic game from Arsenal, topping the table as usual. And I know the season has just begun, but winning your first game is a good boost. It boosts your morale for the rest of the season. We did not see the likes of Gyökeres and Ezri Konsa was in the stands. He was in the stadium watching, not part of the team. Hopefully he might be available for the next game. Bruno Guimaraes was not available. I think I heard that he had a slight injury. I don't think it's a very serious injury. I think Arsenal is ready for the season. I think Arsenal is very ready for the season. But I think I like Noni Madueke. I think he's a nice guy. I've not met him one-on-one, but I think he will be a nice guy with a nice personality. But I think with regards to his football, I think he needs to look up sometimes and not play the Martinelli football, because even Martinelli has improved. Because the moment Bukayo Saka left and Noni Madueke came, it was as if he was just dancing in circles in that wing instead of creating chances. So that's the difference between Noni Madueke and Bukayo Saka. Bukayo Saka always does moves that leads to creating chances, while Noni Madueke always does some football that looks beautiful but doesn't lead to anything at the end of the day. So I think that Noni Madueke needs to work on that. I think he has potentials. So I think that if you ask Mikel Arteta, I think he will be very impressed with the way Arsenal played today. They played very good football. They played as a good team. Everything was okay as it's supposed to be. So I see them dominating the season. But you know, when they start other competition, like they're playing in Champions League and playing Carabao Cup and playing all that, you know, it could also affect the team. But I think that they have squad depth. Arsenal signed so many notable players, so I think that that's not going to suffice. I think they're going to play good football all season. Martin Odegaard is looking at the top of his game. He's looking like a monster this season. I think that, man, Arsenal is ready to defend the title. It was a good game, but let's not get our hopes too high. Let's see how Arsenal perform in the coming games when they face other teams. But for this game today, it was a fantastic game.